People have stopped traveling as they used to.
What they say always, they say stay home, do not move.
We depend on the public.
Because the capacity when reduced by half.
The number that we are carrying every day is not enough to meet our catching.
Zambia has not done a lockdown, but drastically the number of passengers have reduced.
We are here at Millennium Bus Station talking to a couple of bus drivers and trying to understand how far they think this is going to go, how it has affected their businesses, and what else is going to come from it. Selina va Evans Mumba va bus driver ku Millennium Bus Station. Va Evans, mngatuzeko chani pali COVID-19 yale.
So my effect mbiri munga in terms of business munga kuli vantu vanetimanyamula because if capacity vanachita reduced by half. But if fuel yanetibenzesa ni same fuel yanetezosebenzesa paja capacity panenze full. So munga dandaulo yatu ife ku government nayo tisembe batiyanga nako vachitako subsidize kunkani ya fuel.
For the past 2 weeks as bus drivers here in Millennium Bus Station, we have been loading 18 passengers for a 29-seater bus. And then we have a problem of meeting our daily caching because the number that we are carrying every day is not enough to meet our caching. We are having less passengers traveling because of what they say always, they say stay home, do not move, thereby making the passengers stay at their home and leaving us vulnerable not to have passengers to pick from the communities.
I'm joined here by Mr. Peter Piri, the chairperson of Bus and Taxi Owners Association of Zambia, Lusaka province, and we're here to get an insight look into the effects that COVID-19 has had on the transportation industry and ways in which the Bus and Taxi Owners Association plan to curb the growth as well as the effects of COVID-19. Mr. Piri, welcome.
Thank you so very much.
It's a very somber mood in Lusaka right now. How would you describe the general mood that buses as well as taxi owners have right now?
Wow, I think like any other business, the mood is not that good because obviously you know that we deal with the general public. Our business itself, actually, we interact with a lot of people. We knew definitely that we are going to have a tough time. People have stopped traveling as they used to. Before we could even bring in our own measures, we saw that actually it was drastically down in terms of movement of passengers. So it's a negative impact that I think up to now we would say the mood is quite bad. It's a negative shot on our business.
Has that affected the morale between the buses and taxi owners?
Not really, because you see, we are taking it as a challenge because every business has challenges. And obviously, more especially now, we are not the only ones affected, but we are in particular affected, I think, because we depend on the public. And if the public are restrained in terms of movement, it means we are affected badly.
Would you say that it has reduced the number of profits that you usually used to get as compared to now, before?
Definitely. The profit, or I should say the taking or cashing that we usually get has drastically reduced. I would give an example of a Losa bus that is on average per day cashing would be like 600. We have now reduced to almost like 300 kwacha. That's how much we have been affected. We are actually even contemplating to just park our buses. That's the
Wow. And some passengers are complaining that even though you've spoken about social distancing and how we should have the 1 meter apart, sometimes buses will go as far as putting 5 passengers where you need to have 4. What's your take on that one?
Yeah, actually, you see, it has been a debate. The truth is that how do you exercise social distance in a bus? That's number one. Because, for example, if I say 1 meter apart, it means on a bus like a Losa, we only need 2 people on one row. which is actually impossible. Then
Exactly.
who will incur the costs
Of
to
the-
move those passengers from point A to point B? Because for us, we are barely surviving in terms of numbers.
What measures have you put in place to ensure that the transmission of COVID-19 does not increase from the rates that we have right now?
Well, I think a number of measures, because what has been happening, we have been working hand in hand with government officials, Ministry of Health in particular, trying to adhere to some of the things that we should be able to do. Now, for example, one thing that we have emphasized on our buses, as passengers are boarding in our bus, they are disinfecting their hands using these hand sanitizers that we have. I think almost all transporters, they are now doing that. We are doing our part in terms of hand sanitizer, disinfection of the buses in stations, but we may not know, I think, where the attack will come from.
Exactly.
The passenger that we interact with.
Mr. Piri, you have been very helpful, and I think all the points you've brought across today, right now, will be of help to a lot of Zambian citizens listening to this and or watching this right now. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so very much, too.
We have seen the effects that COVID-19 has had on the lives of bus drivers here at Millennium Bus Station. Remember, you can prevent COVID-19 by washing your hands with soap and running water, ensuring that you cough in either a flexed elbow or a clean tissue and handkerchief. Ensure that you always wear a face mask if visiting public spaces and practicing social distancing.